Good morning, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Steve Collins coming to you from rainy San Antonio, Texas, the second most powerful, passionate, purposeful coach and speaker in the world. Hope you guys are ready for a fantastic Tuesday. My favorite day of the week are the ones that end in DAY. Absolutely freaking love them. Why? You're unhappy. And what I didn't put in there is how we can help you shift that. Why you're unhappy. There's a statement in one of my favorite books that says this: my people are dying because they can't see where they're going. Put another way is, my people perish for lack of vision. My people are bummed because they don't know where they're going. Good morning, my brother Wayne. Boom! Love this man. My people are dying because they don't know where they're going. Why you're unhappy is likely because you have not taken the time to write out, think out, and come to complete clarity on what winning looks like in the area of your life where you're most unhappy. So what might that be? I've been wrapped up yesterday my week-long series called Man Up, about marriages and giving men a nugget a day to help them on this journey that you never arrive at a completion zone. You just put the effort in on a regular basis. So most people don't have clarity on what winning looks like. Here's what I mean by that. Stephen Covey, in his famous book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, uses this statement to bring it together. He says, begin with the end in mind. So I would ask you, men, I would ask you, women, I would ask you straight up, what does winning look like in your marriage? Do you even know what that looks like? You may have an idea, you may have an expectation, you may have some tapes running in your head that you saw mom and dad, or mom by herself, or dad by himself, or Uncle Junior, Aunt Susie. You may have an idea of what a relationship looks like, and yet you may have never taken the time to create a crystal clear vision of exactly what that looks like for you. And guess what? There's no right or wrong here. It's subjective to you, the individual, because you may have something very different than anybody else. Something may be more important to you than other people. And yet the unhappiness comes from having no clarity. If you're not clear on what winning looks like, then you will never know if you're winning. You will never know if you're on that way. You will never know whether you are on the right track. So what does winning look like to you? You answer that question, ladies and gentlemen. You answer that question. So let's just give you an example, because I'm all about what to do and how to do it. Good morning, Sonia. I'm all about what to do and how to do it. So let's talk about it. For me, when I was single, I had some really good advice 25 years ago. My mentor told me, Collins, you need to operate as if you're already a married man. I said, what do you mean by that? He goes, would you go to the clubs if you're a married man? I said, no. Would you be going out and getting lit if you're a married man? I said, no. He goes, would you be looking at every beautiful girl that walked by if you're a married man? I said, is that a trick question? I'm just kidding. I knew the answer. I said, no, I don't think she'd like that. He said, you're smarter than you look, Steve. I said, thank you, sir. He said, you begin now living as if you were that married man with a wife at the house or at work or wherever. So what does that mean, Steve? That means you pray daily for her. I said, hold on a second. She hasn't even showed up in my life. And he goes, exactly. You begin the habit now, because unless you're going to be, 22 years old and she's just born, she's probably on the earth somewhere. God's preparing her to get ready for you. I said, all right. He said, so begin praying for her daily what you would pray for her if you were married to her. Ask God's hand of blessing on her life, to bless her in her work, bless her in her relationships, bless her in her health. Begin forming a spiritual relationship with her before she shows up in your life. Oh, there's my baby girl right there. I just saw Angela Collins on there. Hey, love, think about you. Begin developing a relationship with her before she shows up in your life. Begin disciplining your eye not to look at all little cuties that walk by before she's in your life. Begin going to the places and participating in the events you would participate in if she was in your life. Love you, Angie. And I began to do that. And it was pretty damn hard. And it was a little sacrificial, and it was weird. And yet, the day that Angela walked into those church doors in the back was about the time that that movie was out with, who is that, Garth? Party on Wayne's World. And my buddy Joey New, who is also an usher in the church, she walked in. He goes, "Hey man, don't be staring. Don't be staring, man. She's a guest." And I said, "One day, she will be mine." "Oh yes, she will be mine." I really did. True story, y'all. I really said that. Here she is today, 23 years later. Thank you, Jesus. I began with the end in mind. When we got together, we had a very clear vision of what we wanted life to look like. Blaze World, party on! We knew what we wanted life to look like. We sat down. Our very first night hanging out together, get how freaky this was. We settled on this. I love Jesus more than I'm ever going to love you. I hope you're okay with that. I'm a worshiper. I love to give him glory and honor. I one day want to make a difference in people's life and be used by God to change people's lives and ultimately change the world. And oh, by the way, Angela, I hope you can handle this. I know this is weird coming from a guy. I want a huge, huge family. Lots of kids. She goes, just like on Nacho Libre, when he met sister, his little sister, she said, "Everything that you said is your favorite thing is my favorite thing too." It was a Nacho Libre moment, y'all. She wanted everything that I wanted. It was what she was looking for too. We did not know how we would get there. We barely had 2 nickels to rub together. We had crappy cars. We had a 500 square foot little bitty apartment. I was going to college, working part-time, not making enough money to basically pay for ramen. But we had a vision. We had a vision. We want to be amazing. We want to be fit. We want to have a passionate marriage. We want to have a ton of kids. We want God to use us to change people's lives. We had a very clear vision. What is your clear vision? What does winning look like to you? Zig Ziglar would say this: go as far as you can see yourself going. And then when you get there, you'll be able to see a little bit farther. So my encouragement to you, why are you unhappy? Because you don't have clarity on what winning looks like. As a real estate coach, I'll ask people, well, what is your goal? Pay the bills. Yeah, we're going to need some help. What is your goal? What is your vision? To sell houses. Okay, so if you sell 2, you're winning? Well, no. Well, get clarity. Well, I don't have any. Well, that's why you're here. Get clarity. What's your goal? My goal is to do, like one of my clients has said, 26.2 million this year. It represents the distance of a marathon. I know what it's going to take to get there, so let's work around the daily activities that it's going to require for me to hit those numbers. Let's work on my conversions. Let's monitor what we're doing and add the people we need to add so that I can hit those numbers. That's very important to me, and here's the reason why. Very clear goal. Begin with the end in mind. When you know what winning looks like, your brain, your mind, and in my humble opinion, the good Lord comes together to formulate the steps to get there. Zig would say this, Zig Ziglar would say, are you a wandering generality or are you a meaningful specific? Having clarity on what you want that to look like looks amazing. My boy Jason, how you doing this morning? So for Jason, who's getting ready to have a baby, his vision might be this: Steve, my vision for winning in my marriage is this. I get up in the morning, me and my wife have an exercise routine where we work out together. We spend time with one another. We spend time with our baby. I get to the office at this time. I'm lead generating for 3 hours. I grab an appointment. I go out on that appointment. I go to lunch. I go lead generate some more, go on another appointment. I come home. I'm home by 6 o'clock. And I'm spending the evening with my wife, either going out to dinner or eating at the house, playing with our baby. That's as far as I can see, right? That's winning for me. And then he communicates that with his wife. This is what I think winning is. What do you think winning is? She might say, I'd like to see you home at 5 o'clock, Jason. I don't know. What I do know is you have the ability to become crystal clear on what winning looks like for you, and yet you've got to put work into it. Guys, don't feel bad for what I'm about to say. Most of y'all put more time, effort, and energy into your vacation planning than you do into planning your life. Most of you spend more time planning your vacation in greater detail than you do planning your life. It's your life, man. Don't put more time into your vacation than into your life. Clarity. What does winning look like for me as a married man and woman? What does winning look like for me as a 49-year-old guy? Up at 4:20, CrossFitter working out at 5 a.m., eating a good breakfast with my family, hanging out with my kids, laying my hands on each one of those baby dolls and blessing them, sending them out the door full of power, passion, and purpose, spending some precious time with my bride. Yeah, you can read into that if you want to. Hands if you're still there. What? You define precious time for yourself. I'm just saying. Spend some precious time with your bride. Then get ready for work, which you have already prepared for. Then I come in and I will coach the paint off the walls to those that are hungry to learn and grow. Then I will grab a great lunch with my daughter or Katie and Angela or the people that I'm surrounded with. Then we will come back. We will coach like crazy. We will check in. Quick call real estate team. How y'all doing over there? How can I add value to you? Then I will come home at a certain time. And then I will engage with my family and write more of the curriculum for the National Coaching Program. This is winning for me. Once I am in that zone, I will be able to see farther. Why are you unhappy? Because you're dying inside because you have lack of vision, lack of clarity. Begin with the end in mind. Know what winning looks like for you. Be very clear. And if you're in a relationship, you have to get on the same page. They're not going to have the same vision as you. You're not going to have the same vision as them. You will come together and either have an agreement about this is what winning looks like for us. And then you will begin with that end in mind. And then your mind and the good Lord and your friends will come together for those resources to show up for you to achieve that end. Why are you unhappy? Because you don't have clarity. You're tired of getting up, going to work, doing the same thing over and over again. Go have a drink, go to bed. Get up, get ready for work, go to work, come home, have a drink, go to bed. That's no life, man. That's no life. You've got to have a vision for your life. Are you wondering how you get a vision for your life? I'm going to end as I have been recently. Ask the one who created you. Ask the one who created you. If I were to just, let's say, give my life over to you, the one who created me and gave me these unique gifts and talents that manifest at their highest level when I'm serving other people, if I was to just give my life to you, you know what? I think I will. Just use me. Use my life. Use the gifts and talents that I have in service to other people. Go as big as you want to. Go as hard as you want to. Let's go all in. I'm ready maybe to let Jesus take the wheel. You know what I'm saying? Turn it over. See what happens. Unhappy with where life has brought you to this day? Maybe you can hand the wheel over to somebody who actually has a very clear plan and vision for good for you and not harm, who can give you hope and a future. If you don't know him, I suggest that you reach out to me and I'll introduce you. You guys have a great day today.